Silence can be louder than words when emotions are too real to explain, because not every quiet moment means absence. Sometimes it means depth. Sometimes it means someone is fighting battles they don't know how to describe. If you love me, don't fear my silence. Try to understand it. Listen beyond what is spoken. Notice the pauses, the distance in my eyes, the weight in my breath, because silence often carries truths that words are too weak to hold. Love is not demanding constant explanations. It is creating a space where silence feels safe instead of suspicious, where quiet does not trigger doubt but invites patience. If you love me, don't force me to speak when I am still learning how to feel. Don't accuse me of distance when I am simply processing pain. Silence is sometimes the language of someone who has been strong for too long, someone who has learned that words are often misunderstood, someone who has been hurt by speaking honestly in the past. Love that is mature does not panic in quiet moments. It waits, it observes, it remains steady. Silence becomes loud when it is ignored, when it is dismissed, when it is met with impatience instead of empathy. If you love me, hear what I am not saying, hear the exhaustion behind my calm, hear the hope behind my restraint, hear the fear behind my composure, because silence is not emptiness. It is meaning waiting to be respected. Love is sitting with someone in quiet without needing to fill the space, without turning stillness into conflict, without making everything about reassurance. Silence is loud when it reveals who is willing to stay without control, who is willing to trust without proof, who is willing to care without constant validation. If you love me, don't confuse silence with indifference. Sometimes it is protection, sometimes it is healing, sometimes it is the only way someone knows how to survive another day. Love listens with the heart, not just the ears. It understands that some emotions are too deep for language, too fragile for explanation. Silence becomes loud when it exposes discomfort, when it challenges impatience, when it demands emotional maturity. If you love me, don't walk away just because I am quiet. Don't assume the worst when words are missing. Don't turn stillness into distance. Love that understands silence understands humanity. It knows that strength is not always loud, that vulnerability is not always verbal, that connection does not require constant conversation. Silence can be a form of trust, a moment where someone believes they don't have to perform to be accepted, where they don't have to explain every feeling to be valued. If you love me, protect my silence instead of interrogating it. Honor it instead of fearing it, because silence shared with the right person feels like peace, and silence shared with the wrong person feels like loneliness. Love knows the difference. It does not rush. It does not accuse. It does not abandon. It stays present, attentive, grew. D. Silence is loud because it reveals intentions. It shows who listens to understand and who listens to respond, who waits with patience and who demands clarity for their own comfort. If you love me, let my silence exist without punishment, without pressure, without ultimatums, because sometimes the loudest proof of love is allowing someone to be quiet and still choosing to stay. If you love me, don't explain it to me with beautiful words that disappear when life becomes heavy. Show me by staying when there is nothing left to gain, by listening when I am quiet, by noticing when my smile is not real, because love is not loud. It does not beg for attention. It does not perform for an audience. It simply stays. Presence is waking up and choosing the same heart even when the day is exhausting. Presence is standing beside someone without trying to fix them, without trying to own them, without trying to change who they are. Presence is understanding that love is not a transaction where effort is given only when appreciation is guaranteed. Real love does not count favors. It does not keep score. It does not remind you of sacrifices during arguments. If you love me, be here when I am struggling to find words, because sometimes silence is not distance. Sometimes silence is survival, and love recognizes that. Presence is patience when progress is slow. It is compassion when emotions are messy. It is loyalty when temptation offers easier paths. Love is not proven on perfect days. It is revealed in imperfect moments when walking away would be simpler. Presence means choosing depth over convenience, choosing truth over comfort, choosing connection over ego. If you love me, don't love the version of me that is easy to admire. Love the version of me that is still healing, still learning, still carrying invisible weight. Presence is showing up without needing applause, without needing validation, without needing control. It is understanding that sometimes love means sitting quietly beside pain instead of trying to erase it. Presence is consistency, not intensity. It is the calm decision to stay long after the excitement fades. If you love me, don't disappear when I need you the most. Don't become distant when emotions get complicated. Don't turn cold when vulnerability makes you uncomfortable. Love that runs at the first sign of difficulty was never love. It was convenience pretending to care. Presence is choosing to be reliable in a world full of temporary feelings. It is showing up on ordinary days, not just special moments. It is being there when no one is watching, when there is nothing to post, nothing to prove, nothing to gain. If you love me, let your actions speak when your words are tired. Let your loyalty speak when your voice is quiet. Let your consistency speak when emotions fluctuate, because love that is real does not need constant reassurance. It is felt in safety. It is felt in peace. It is felt in the absence of fear. Presence is what tells someone they are not alone in their struggles, that they don't have to perform to be valued, that they don't have to hide their scars to be accepted. If you love me, be present not just in my success, but in my uncertainty, not just in my strength, but in my weakness, not just when I am confident, but when I am afraid. Because love that only exists in comfort disappears when life demands courage, and presence is the courage to stay, to listen, to understand, to choose connection again and again, even when it would be easier to walk away, even when silence feels heavy, even when answers are unclear, even when the path forward is uncertain. There is a quiet strength in the way Keanu Reeves speaks to the world, not loud, not demanding, but deeply honest. Today, this message carries that same energy. If you love me, then see me, not for what I give, not for what I endure in silence, but for who I am when no one is watching. Love is not proven by words spoken in comfort. It is revealed in presence, loyalty, and respect during the hardest moments. This is not a plea for attention. It is a reminder of what real love looks like when ego disappears and the soul speaks. If you love me, stand with me, grow with me, and choose me, even when it's not easy. Pain does not arrive to destroy love. It arrives to expose it, because when everything is smooth, anyone can stay. But when life applies pressure, truth rises to the surface. If you love me, don't disappear when I am hurting. Don't grow distant when emotions become heavy. Don't treat pain like an inconvenience. Pain is not weakness. It is a moment asking for understanding, for patience, for humanity. Love that is real does not rush healing. It does not demand strength on schedule. It allows space for wounds to breathe. Pain tests love by removing comfort, by stripping away performance, by revealing who stays when there is nothing pleasant to hold on to. If you love me, sit with me in discomfort, even when you don't know what to say, even when you can't fix anything. Presence matters more than solutions. Pain shows who loves the idea of you and who loves the reality of you, the reality that includes fear, confusion, vulnerability, and doubt. Love that survives pain does not minimize it. It does not compare it. It does not dismiss it. It respects it, because pain is personal and healing is not linear. If you love me, don't weaponize my pain during arguments. Don't use my vulnerability as leverage. Don't turn my wounds into reminders of my flaws. Pain already carries enough weight. Love should not add to it. Pain tests patience, and patience reveals maturity. Love that is strong understands that emotions don't follow logic, that healing does not follow timelines, that strength sometimes looks like stillness. If you love me, allow me to be human in my pain. Allow me to break without judgment. Allow me to feel without pressure to perform. Pain separates those who stay for comfort from those who stay for commitment. It reveals who values connection over convenience, who chooses empathy over escape. Love that remains during pain becomes deeper, quieter, more honest. It learns to communicate without noise, to support without control, to care without conditions. Pain strips love down to its core, removing illusions, removing expectations, removing masks. What remains is truth, and truth is not always pretty, but it is real. If you love me, face pain with me instead of avoiding it. Walk through it instead of around it, because love that survives pain becomes resilient, grounded, and unshaken by storms. Pain does not weaken love, it clarifies it. It shows who is willing to stand in the fire without running, who is willing to grow instead of leaving, who is willing to choose connection, even when it hurts. Loyalty is not tested when everything is calm and easy. It is revealed when circumstances change, when emotions fluctuate, when outside voices become tempting. Because loyalty is not about possession, it is about commitment. It is choosing the same person even when attention comes from elsewhere, even when convenience offers shortcuts, even when walking away would require less effort. If you love me, be loyal in the moments no one sees, when there is no reward, no recognition, no fear of being caught, because character is built in private, not in public displays. Loyalty is respecting someone's absence the same way you respect their presence. It is protecting their name when they are not in the room. It is honoring boundaries even when temptation challenges discipline. Love without loyalty is just emotion. And emotion fades. Loyalty is what remains when excitement settles, when passion quiets, when reality replaces fantasy. If you love me, don't stay only when it feels good. Stay when it requires strength, when misunderstandings arise, when patience is tested, when growth becomes uncomfortable. Loyalty is choosing to work through issues instead of escaping them. It is choosing understanding over assumptions, truth over convenience. Loyalty does not flirt with alternatives while claiming devotion. It does not keep doors open while pretending to be committed. It closes unnecessary doors out of respect, not fear. If you love me, let your loyalty be consistent, not conditional. Let it exist beyond moods, beyond attention, beyond validation. Loyalty is stability in a world addicted to options. It is rare, it is quiet, it is powerful, it is staying grounded when everything else invites distraction. Love that is loyal does not need surveillance. It does not require control. It does not demand constant reassurance, because trust flows naturally when loyal. Why is genuine? If you love me, be someone I can rely on when life becomes unpredictable, someone whose actions don't change with circumstances, someone whose values remain intact under pressure. Loyalty reveals who you are when no one is watching, when no one is applauding, when no one is reminding you of your promises. It is the discipline to honor love, even when it is challenged, even when it is tested, even when it is inconvenient. Loyalty is not dramatic, it is deliberate, it is calm, it is firm, it is choosing integrity over impulse, depth over excitement, commitment over comfort. And love, grounded in loyalty, creates safety, not fear, peace, not anxiety, trust, not doubt. Respect is not something you ask for, it is something you show through how you treat another person when emotions are high and opinions differ. If you love me, speak to me with dignity even when you are angry, even when you disagree, even when you feel misunderstood, because respect does not disappear during conflict. It becomes more important. Love without respect becomes control, and control slowly erases trust. Respect is listening without interrupting, understanding without dismissing, valuing feelings even when you don't share them. If you love me, don't belittle my thoughts, don't mock my emotions, don't turn vulnerability into weakness. Respect is recognizing that I am a whole person, not an extension of your needs, not a reflection of your expectations. Love that respects does not cross boundaries. In the name of passion, it does not justify harm. In the name of honesty, it does not excuse disrespect as truth, because truth without kindness becomes cruelty. Respect is consistency in behavior, not charm in moments. It is how you speak when no one is watching, how you react when things don't go your way, how you handle power when you have it. If you love me, protect my dignity in public and private. Don't embarrass me to feel strong. Don't silence me to feel in control. Respect creates safety, and safety allows love to grow without fear, without tension, without constant defense. Respect means allowing differences without punishment, allowing growth without jealousy, allowing independence without insecurity. Love that respects understands that partnership is not ownership, it is alignment. It is two individuals choosing to walk together without erasing themselves. Respect remains when attraction fluctuates, when emotions shift, When life applies pressure, it does not depend on mood, attention, or validation. If you love me, let your respect be visible in your patience, in your tone, in your choices, because respect is not loud, it is steady, it is felt, it is remembered, and love that stands on respect does not need to prove itself. It is already secure. Love is not proven when it is easy, it is revealed when choice is required, because feelings come and go, but choice is deliberate. If you love me, choose me on ordinary days, on difficult days, on days when excitement is go, nay, and routine remains. Love that is real does not wait for perfect conditions. It commits within reality. Choice is staying when misunderstanding appears, when silence stretches, when growth feels uncomfortable. It is choosing effort over escape, depth over distraction, commitment over convenience. If you love me, don't treat love like an option that can be replaced when something easier appears. Love is not passive, it is active. It is a decision made again and again, even when emotions fluctuate, even when life becomes demanding. Choice means prioritizing connection without sacrificing self-respect. It means protecting what you build instead of testing how much it can endure. Love that chooses does not threaten departure during conflict. It does not keep one foot out the door. It does not use uncertainty as leverage. Choice brings stability, and stability allows trust to breathe. If you love me, choose clarity over confusion. Love requires courage, not the loud kind that seeks attention, but the quiet courage to be honest, to be vulnerable, to stay open even after being hurt. If you love me, don't hide behind pride when truth is needed. Don't avoid difficult conversations to keep temporary peace. Courage in love means facing discomfort instead of escaping it, choosing honesty over convenience, growth over stagnation. Love that lacks courage becomes shallow. It stays on the surface where nothing is challenged and nothing truly connects. If you love me, be brave enough to admit mistakes, to apologize without excuses, to listen without preparing a defense. Courage is allowing yourself to be seen without armor, to be known without control. Love that is courageous does not manipulate, it does not threaten distance, it does not punish honesty, because fear cannot build intimacy, only courage can. Courage is staying present during emotional storms, not shutting down, not running away, not becoming cold to protect yourself. If you love me, face conflict with me instead of against me. Let problems become shared challenges instead of reasons to disconnect. Courage in love is choosing transparency even when it risks rejection, choosing depth even when it risks pain, choosing truth even when it changes dynamics. Love that is courageous grows stronger through difficulty. It does not collapse under pressure. It evolves, it matures, it deepens. Courage transforms love from a feeling into a bond that can withstand reality, uncertainty, and time. Love does not need to be loud to be real, because depth is often quiet. If you love me, don't perform it for the world. Live it in the moments no one applauds. Real love is subtle. It exists in small gestures, in consideration, in restraint, in the way you protect peace instead of creating drama. Love that is mature does not seek constant attention. It values meaning over display. If you love me, don't confuse intensity with depth. Intensity burns fast, depth endures. Quiet love listens more than it speaks, observes more than it promises. It understands that connection is felt, not announced. Love that is secure does not compete for validation. It does not need to prove itself through noise, because it is grounded in trust. If you love me, let your love feel safe, not overwhelming, calm, not chaotic, presence, not pressure, quiet. Love respects space without creating distance. It allows silence without suspicion. It allows independence without insecurity, because confidence does not shout, it stands firm. Love that is quiet creates room for growth, reflection, and healing. It does not rush emotions. It does not force closeness. It invites it naturally. If you love me, don't mistake peace for boredom. Peace is the highest form of connection. It means love has matured beyond excitement into stability. Quiet love chooses harmony over ego, understanding over reaction, patience over control. It knows that the strongest bonds are not the ones everyone sees, But the ones that hold steady when everything else is loud, time reveals everything that words try to hide, because consistency cannot be faked forever. If you love me, let time confirm it, not promises made in emotional moments, not speeches spoken during fear of loss, but steady behavior that remains unchanged as days pass. Love that is real does not rush to impress, it settles into reliability. It understands that trust is built slowly and broken quickly. Time tests patience, and patience exposes intention. If you love me, don't be intense today and absent tomorrow. Don't be warm when convenient and cold when effort is required. Love that lasts understands rhythm. It shows up repeatedly, quietly, without drama. Time strips away excitement and leaves habits behind, and habits reveal truth. If you love me, let your habits protect me, not confuse me. Let them create peace, not anxiety, because inconsistency creates doubt, even when words sound perfect. Time shows who stays when novelty fades, when routine replaces thrill, when silence replaces excitement. Love that survives time is grounded. It does not depend on constant stimulation. It grows deeper through shared moments, shared struggles, shared stillness. If you love me, grow with me instead of outgrowing me, adapt instead of drifting, communicate instead of disappearing. Time exposes whether love is rooted or temporary, whether it is built on intention or impulse. Love that respects time understands growth. T allows change without abandonment. It allows distance without disconnection. It allows individuality without loss of unity. If you love me, don't measure love in days of passion. Measure it in years of consistency, because time does not listen to excuses. It only records actions, and actions repeated over time become truth.